Welcome into the Wiregrass High School Football Report, brought to you by Digio Strategies and Wiregrass Daily News. I am your host, Phillip Jordan, the in-studio host and producer of Dothan Woods Football on 96.9, the legend and Auburn writer for Last Word on college football. And, of course, this is your weekly look at all things high school football in the Wiregrass. Got a fun show planned for you guys this week. The last week of the regular season concluded on Friday night. We'll go over all the scores. Of course, you hear one last time. You'll hear the Dothan Wolves post-game show with Jerry Coleman and Ken Lambert. We'll replay that here on the show. I'll be joined by Dale County head coach Evan Ballard. He will talk about Dale County winning the region, what it was like. They took the advantage of the off week last week. They did not play a game, as some teams chose to do, to use their off week as the final week of the season, gearing up for the playoffs. And I will also talk about their first round matchup with Fairfield at a 4A Region 4. And, of course, I will let you know who everybody is playing in the first round of the playoffs here in the Wiregrass. But before we do all that, let you know you can find me in the podcast. Find me on social media, P. Jordan SEC. Podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. You can also check it out over at Wiregrass Daily News. Also available over on YouTube at the Phillip Jordan Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to get at me, you can just email me at sports.philipjordan@gmail.com. Now, let's go around the Wiregrass. All right, so no region play, so we're just going to go through these games straightforward. Mostly just give you the scores on this before we jump into my conversation with Dale County head coach Evan Ballard. Dothan did end their season with a 37-31 win over Godby out of Tallahassee. So Dothan ends the season at 5-5. And A.J. Alexander had a great game in this one, 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing in the game. But don't take it from me how well they played. Let's play the post-game show that you would have heard on 96.9 The Legend with Jerry Coleman and Ken Lambert, who were at the game there at Rip Hughes Stadium.
It's Dothan High School Wolves football on your home for great country legends. 96.9 The Legend. Time now for the Dothan Wolves postgame show. Back to the stadium for the postgame wrap-up with Jerry Coleman and Ken Lambert on 96.9 The Legend.
The win tonight, 37-31, ends up the season 5-5 here at Rip Hughes Stadium, senior recognition night. And Ken, A.J. Alexander had a great game. We also saw defense showed up when they needed to. Defensive backs got tested a lot tonight, probably more than usual. But Chambers and this Godby team is good team from Tallahassee.
Absolutely. They come out with 4 wide and just run them all over the field, and he is a big quarterback, a mobile quarterback, and an accurate arm. And I tell you, he threw a lot of passes tonight that probably should have been caught, and he kept the Godby in this game. An entertaining football game all around. Man, just one that we enjoyed. Had some great plays and interesting twists and turns there. But as you mentioned, A.J. Alexander just really shined tonight on some big runs. He had I have him down for let's see, this is going to be 28 carries for 299 yards. So he has 4 touchdowns. He has a touchdown run of 76 yards, of 54 yards, of 7 yards, and 55-yard touchdown runs. So just some big burst, and a big part of that was this Godby defense walking everybody up to stop the run. And once he broke through, just had a big plays there tonight. If I look in my stats, of course, these are just unofficial stats. With that 299-yard performance tonight, that'll put him over 1,500 yards for the year, which is just phenomenal in 7A in the region that we play in. Also, Barnes came back after the ankle injury and got another big run, 47-yard run in there. That ended up giving him 74 yards tonight. And Vickers got in the mix, 18 yards on 2 carries. Meadows had 8 yards on 3 carries. And then we also had Thomas with a couple of carries for 6 yards, and Rowell had 1 for 15. And Barnes completed that big 43-yard pass play to Vickers for the other touchdown on kind of the trick play that fooled us there. That was really genius looking back on it. But look, this we talked about on the coaches show, and then here we are, senior recognition night, last night for these 16 seniors, and you could kind of see it as the last couple of plays there. I think especially on TJ Vickers, he had some of the guys congratulating him, just knowing that was his last play here at Dothan High. So congratulations to these guys. A great game tonight, and it takes us back to a 505 record.
Well, that'll wrap up another season for Dothan High Wolves football here on 96.9 The Legend. Stay tuned after the break. Phillip Jordan will join you as the post-game scoreboard report. Games around the Wiregrass, including scores in the Panhandle of Florida.
And one more coaches show on Thursday night.
One more coaches show Thursday night at 8 o'clock here on 96.9 The Legend. So long from Rip Stadium. Go Wolves.
All right, once again, that was Jerry Coleman and Ken Lambert in the postgame show on Friday night after Dothan defeated Godby 37-31. And as I said, we will be doing one more coaches show with head coach Jed Kennedy this Thursday night, 8 o'clock on 96.9 The Legend. But if you can't catch it on the air, we'll be up as a podcast over at the Dothan High School Football Podcast feed over at Wiregrass Daily News or wherever you get your podcast. Now, continue looking at the scores from the Wiregrass in the final week of the regular season. Choctawhatchee defeated Enterprise 17-14. That puts Enterprise at 6-4, but they get ready to head into the postseason. Rehoboth ended their season with a 36-29 win over Headland, scored in the final minutes of the game to get that win. For Rehoboth, they end their year at 4-6. Headland ends their season at 5-5. Early County defeated Eufaula 20-0. Eufaula ends the regular season 5-5, but they will be heading into the playoffs as well. Pike Road defeated Charles Henderson 50-35. Now, news broke on Friday night. It actually was during their game, and we broke the story, or we didn't break the story. We broke the news to you. It came from the Dothan Eagle that Charles Henderson was going to have to forfeit all their wins because of some violations from the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Looking through some reports that come out, multiple outlets out there, that it was due to the transfer rules. So Charles Henderson would have been in the postseason, but after forfeiting all those wins, they are now 0-9 to end the year. You still feel bad for a lot of those players, especially finding out like that in the middle of a game. Holmes County defeated Opp 36-32. Opp falls to 7-3 on the year, but they are headed to the postseason. GW Long defeated Geneva 28-0. GW Long ends their season at 3-7, and Geneva ends the year at 0-10. Laverne defeated Daleville 37-21, and Daleville ends their season 1-9. Goshen defeated Strawn 33-21 to end the year 7-2. They are the 2 seed out of 2A Region 3. Strawn ends the regular season 5-5. Geneva County defeated Slocum 62-38. And that puts Geneva County at 5-5 and Slocum at 3-7. Neither team will be in the postseason, but give a lot of credit to the job done by Coach Gilmore there at Geneva County. This was a team that was 0-10 last year. Now they're 5-5. And Brandon Hall did break the Geneva County single season rushing record on Thursday night as well. Sampson defeated Northside Methodist 31-21. So that puts Sampson at 2-8 on the year. Northside Methodist at 0-10. Houston Academy defeated Providence Christian 45-7. Houston Academy goes to the playoffs with a 9-1 record, and Providence goes in with an 8-2 record. Providence came in second in 2A Region 2, and Houston Academy came in second in 3A Region 2. Houston County defeated FAMU DRS. I guess that's the name of the school. 46-16. Houston County, big year there with them turnaround season. They're in the postseason at 6-4. Brantley defeated Ayrton 45-27. Brantley ends the year at 6-4, but will not make the postseason. Ayrton closes out a playoff year 5-5. And then Lafayette defeated Barber County 37-0. Barber County ends their year at 1-8. All right, we're going to take a 1-minute break, play our normal promo we play for you guys, talking about 96.9 The Legend, all the other different ways of listening and Wiregrass Daily News and all that good stuff. I'm going to play that 1-minute spot for you. And then on the other side of that, I'll be joined by Dale County head coach Evan Ballard. You're listening to the Wiregrass High School Football Report.
96.9 The Legend is your connection to classic country legends. But Digio Strategies has other options too. News Talk 103.9 is your source for America's top news and entertainment shows like Rick and Bubba in the morning, Glenn Beck from 9 till 11 a.m., and Clay Travis and Buck Sexton middays from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Sean Hannity, Lars Larson, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and others fill your day with the latest news and views from America's top conservative voices. America at Night and Coast to Coast AM keep you company and connected throughout the night. Plus, Fox News, the Alabama Radio Network, and Wiregrass Daily News keep you informed with national, international, state, and local news. And with more musical choices like All the Hits, 106.7 KMX, Today's Country, 95.5 WTVY, and Music 107.7. Digio Strategies gives you more choices and more variety. Listen on air, online, and on our apps. 96.9 The Legend is just the beginning.
Everybody joining me this week on the Wiregrass High School Football Report is Dale County head coach Evan Ballard, the 4A Region 2 champions there in Dale County. And Coach Ballard, I appreciate you taking time to come on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you on the show. I know you guys, the season in, but it's been over a week for you guys for regular season because you guys had used the last week as the off week. Just how did everything go with the team? How's everything looking? With that week off.
Yeah, so we had a pretty good week. A chance to, we wanted to save some guys' legs, get some guys, healthy after a long regular season, but. Also, too, with that, we didn't want to, lose the conditioning side of it that we've done a good job with, too. So, we tried to balance that out this week. We gave them Monday off, and then Tuesday we did, a quick kind of conditioning type practice. And Wednesday and Thursday really went ahead and kind of got into what would be kind of a typical Monday and Tuesday prep for us to go ahead and prepare for our upcoming opponent. But the guys, they did a good job of, especially on that Tuesday, something kind of different, conditioning type stuff. They did a good job with it. So I was very pleased with how they handled this week.
Yeah, just the season as a whole, too, going 10 straight weeks. I mean, what's like that as a coach trying to manage that at the same time as you say, keep the players, going the way you want to go, but still that 10-week stretch, especially in a region that you guys are in, too, grueling as it is.
Yeah, I mean, it was a grind, and you could kind of feel it. But that was something all the way back, in the off season that we talked about. Whenever you first start that off season program, everybody's excited. But first day of spring practice, kind of the same thing. First day of summer, and it was something that I, told the guys a bunch was, hey, everybody's excited at the beginning, but in the off season, I said, what about the dog days in March? I said that's what it's going to be like in week 6, week 7, week 8 if we're trying to really. Push for a playoff spot, push for a region championship, you got to be able to continue to be consistent. And so I think that all-season training that we did to gear ourselves up for it was something that was key to allow us to, stay consistent throughout the year and, find ways to get some wins down the stretch that were big for us.
Yeah, I know, of course, you guys are focused on the first-round playoff matchup this Friday there against Fairfield. But just, taking back a couple weeks ago, just how was the energy, the excitement within the players when you guys won the region?
Yeah, it was great. Something that we went into the season as a goal. That was a big goal for us was, we felt like that if we did things the right way, we'd be in a spot that we might could win the region. And so, this year was fun. I mean, it was, every week you felt like you had a chance to win, but also on the flip side, you knew that if you didn't do things the right way, you'd have a chance to get beat as well. And so it was a great feeling to be able to, see all that work from really all the way back to last December that these guys have put in. It was a great feeling to see, the joy and the excitement and that hard work pay off for those guys.
Yeah, and how much of a factor, too, playing in a region that you played in or play in that helps you kind of as you get into the playoffs because you played great competition pretty much every week in 4A Region 2. I mean, you had teams like Ashford, you had Strawn, Opp, and even a really good Pike County team that's not even in the playoffs. Just playing those kind of teams in your region, how do you see that best prepares your teams now you head into the postseason? Yeah,
I think it's prepared us great. And really the thing about our region, there was everybody kind of provided some different challenges, and so I think that'll help us going into the playoffs, and because that's what you're going to get, different styles of play, and that was something that was a challenge throughout our region. A lot of really good coaches, really good players, and so it was a challenge every week. And our guys, I think it was one thing about our guys that they enjoyed, especially defensively, preparing for a new opponent each week and trying to take away what they do best. Something that the guys really, they took pride in each week, and I definitely think that the region as a whole has definitely prepared us well going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I was just going back and reviewing the standings in the 4A Region 2, and you look at Pike County there. They were 4-3 in region play, but they're not in the playoffs. Just one of those regions that's tough, and unfortunately, one good team's not going to make the postseason, and that was unfortunately them. And you talk about your defense. I was looking back on your winning streak, 7-game winning streak to close out the year, and I was looking. 6 games, teams that scored more than 12 points against guys. Pike County got 34, did have a shutout in there. Just talk about, and even before that, defense was playing well in the first 3 games too as well. But just overall, how you've seen this defense progress as you had hit the end of the season.
Yeah, they've done a great job. I mean, that was for us to make the turnaround that we've had on that side of the ball has been huge. I mean, last year we gave up 45 points a game on defense. This year, I think by the end of it, I think we were at 13 points a game, so that big of a difference in their commitment to doing the little things right, I think that was key. Just consistent preparation. And like I said kind of earlier, our big thing was this year on defense, has been, we want to take away what you do best. We want to keep everything in front. We don't want to give up the big play. We talk a lot about make the offense have to keep snapping the football, and so they really took pride in that all year. And it's been a total team effort. All 11 guys are willing to tackle. All 11 guys are willing to do what's asked of them. And we've kind of done some stuff with some different personnels. And so we play some 3 down, 4 down. Some weeks, some guys get more reps just based off, what the opponent, kind of forces us to do on that side of the ball. And nobody complains. Just their numbers called. They've been up to the task all year. So it's been great to see on that side.
I don't know. We talked earlier in the year, and you talked, the kind of like change within the season with the offense, kind of doing some different things. And quarterback Dallas Hedstrom, he's had a terrific season. Every week you look in the Dothan Eagle, there's his name, putting up big performance, both on the ground and through the air. Kind of the same question I asked about the defense, but with your quarterback, and, the offense as a whole too. How do you see them right now as you head toward the playoffs? Because it really seemed like you guys have really hit your stride on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot offensively. We're definitely comfortable on that side of the ball. Dallas has been playing, really well, leading their team in passing and, obviously passing, but in rushing as well. And he's really got comfortable with his receivers. They're on the same page. Him and Junior obviously have a great connection, and but they've really got comfortable. Those 2 guys played together for a long time. You can just kind of see even at practice, they kind of know what the other guy's thinking. If the route kind of calls for hey, I'm going to be in this spot, or the defense gives me this, this look. They've done a good job with that. And really, too, what I've been pleased with is everybody knows how talented Junior is, and he's obviously done a great job for us at receiver. But, those other guys have been key, too. It's hard. It's been hard for teams to double Junior, because if they do, we've got some other guys that, with Tristan Smith and Cam Cotton and Cody Jaggers, out there at receiver, that they've stepped up and they've made plays too. So that's taken some pressure off of Junior and Dallas, and offensive line's done a good job in pass protection. And then late in the year, another thing that I've been very pleased with is late in the game, we've really been able to put games away on the ground. DeMarcus Smith has done a good job finishing games for us, running hard in the offensive lines. They're done a great job whenever, late in the game against Opp and Pike County, we were able to close the game out with the ball in our hands because we were able to get first downs on the ground. So really like where we're at on that side of the ball right now, too.
Yeah, I was about to bring up DeMarcus Smith. Coach, you have a lot of Smiths on your team. I don't know how you keep up with that. But DeMarcus Smith, your leading rusher at the running back position, and it's all about Dallas a lot with what he can do in the run game, but also defenses can't focus just on him, because if he has that guy next to him that he can keep the ball, and of course Tristan Smith too has put up some big numbers for you guys too.
Yeah, DeMarcus he has stayed patient all year. That's probably the thing that I'm most proud of DeMarcus with is, he's battled some injuries, really the last couple of years, but as the years went, the more healthy he's got. And the thing that I really like where DeMarcus is at is he's really done a good job of getting us tough yards. We've got some big play guys on the perimeter. You mentioned Tristan and Junior and, those receivers, Cam and Cody obviously can make big plays for us, but there's course of the game where, you need 5 or 6 yards on the ground from time to time to keep the defense honest. And DeMarcus has done a really good job of not searching for the big play, and that is huge. I think that's one thing to get a high school running back to understand that, hey, every play doesn't have to be a 20, 25-yard gain, that those 4, 5, 6 tough yards throughout the course of a game, if you do it over and over, they turn into 10, 12-yard gains late in the game. And so I've been very proud of DeMarcus and his willingness to, really be a downhill back for us.
Yeah, every now and then I guess it's okay to hit, just get a single. You don't have to hit home runs every time. And just kind of looking at also last on your offense, I can't go without talking about offensive line, the unsung heroes on offense. How do you see those guys, how they've progressed as you head to this matchup on Friday night?
Yeah, they've done a great job. Really, if you think about it, we asked those guys early in the year to run a single wing offense where it was, heavy run game, to where now where we're at, we're really balanced. I think against Pike County we ran almost 80 plays and threw it 35 times. So, with probably a couple quarterback scrambles in there. So we're pretty balanced, probably 50-50 now. And they've done a great job in pass protection. I mean, they really have so far. Now they're going to have to do it again this week, against a team that's really athletic and can bring some pressure. So we're going to have to do a good job. But they've kept Dallas upright, which has been key to his success, and so definitely proud of those guys, but really the most proud in them, with just kind of the change in offense and what we've, kind of really spent all the way back spring and summer doing. And then, we just said, hey, that doesn't fit us as much. Now I need you to do a better job pass protecting and really focus on that as well. So definitely been pleased with them, and Coach Martin, offensive line coach, he's done a great job with those guys.
So looking toward this Friday's matchup in the playoffs, you'll be hosting Fairfield out of 4A Region 4. They come in with 7-3 record, over 4-3 in their region, and I was just looking at some stats on them and a few highlights. They have a really good running back, run over 1,000 yards, and their quarterback seems like a dual threat. He can beat you. He's good in the air and on the ground. Just from what you've been able to see with them, what's going to be some keys for you guys to come out with a victory?
We gotta contain the quarterback in the pocket. He is dangerous with his legs. He is dangerous pulling the ball down, running it on drop back passes. So we are going to have to do a good job of keeping him bottled up. Try to make him be a passer as much as possible, not let him get outside on the edge. And he does a good job too of stepping up in the pocket and making plays. That way too. So that's going to be key. We're going to have to stop the run in early downs, and then we're going to have to do everything we can to contain the quarterback, make him have to throw the football and not let him get loose on the ground. But that is going to be much easier said than done. He is the quarterback he's pretty elusive. He would definitely be a challenge like we've not had all year. So we're definitely going to have to be prepared. I think we got a good plan going in, but we're going to have to be willing to execute. Every play is going to have a life of its own, because if we don't on that one play, they got some guys that can make you pay.
Yeah, you mentioned there too also about their team. They are athletic on the defense side of the ball. Of course, without giving out any big time details, but just offensively, what's going to be the key? Just kind of counteracting that.
Yeah, we just got to stay away from some negative plays. I think it's going to be big. Their defense does a good job of forcing negative plays. They're very aggressive. And so I think if we can stay ahead of the chains, we're going to put ourselves in a good spot. But, that's going to be key. Stay ahead of the chains. Don't let them, force negative plays to where we get in long yardage situations and, then they can pin their ears back. So that's going to be big for us. Just, make sure we stay ahead of the chains and take care of the football. That's always big. Anytime you get in these big games like this, you got to make sure that you take care of the football because that can be a big key as well.
Yeah, well, I'll be keeping up with you guys on Friday night. Good luck on Friday night in the first round. And before I let you go, Coach, anything else I didn't touch on or any final comments for you?
Just proud of our guys, proud of what they've been able to accomplish this year, especially after a shaky start at 1-2. That I've told the guys and tell everybody that I take full responsibility for that slow start. Forcing some things on the guys that didn't fit us, and so I'm just so proud of them for them not giving up on us. Staying consistent in our work and our preparation, and being able to navigate through a very tough region and come out on top of that has been great. But we're looking forward to the challenge now, and we just ask all of our fans to come out and support on Friday night.
All right, sounds good, Coach. Again, appreciate the time, and good luck this Friday night against Fairfield, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and thank you for all you do covering high school football. I know everybody enjoys it.
All right, and again, thank you to Coach Ballard for coming on, Dale County's head coach, and of course they will be playing again at Fairfield on Friday night in the first round. So, all right, as we close up, let's look at the matchups for this Friday night's playoff games for teams in the Wiregrass. Only one team in 7A in the postseason in the Wiregrass. 6-4 Enterprise will travel to play 9-1 Austin. No 6A teams in the Wiregrass in the playoffs. In 5A, we got two of them. 5-5, Eufaula will be at 5-5 Beauregard. 7-2, Elmore County will be at 6-4 Andalusia. In 4A, as we just mentioned, 7-3 Fairfield will be at 8-2 Dale County. 5-5 Strawn will travel to take Pleasant Grove, who is 8-1. 7-3 Opp will go to Bibb County, who's also 7-3. 5-5 Ashford will host Oak Grove, who is 8-2 on the year. In 3A, 9-1 Houston Academy will host 6-4 Beulah. In 2A, we had a lot of 2A teams in a postseason here in our kind of coverage area. 5-5 Lynette will be at 10-0 Cottonwood. 7-2 Goshen will host Washington County, who is 6-4. 6-4 Houston County will be at 9-1 Reeltown. 7-3 Zion Chapel will be at 7-3 Clark County. 5-5 Ayrton will be at 5-4 Lochapoka. And then 6-4 Horseshoe Bend will travel and take on Providence Christian, who's 8-2, came in second place in 2A Region 2. Then in 1A, you'll have 7-3 Florella taking on 8-2 Maplesville. 8-2 Verbena will travel to take on Elba at 8-2. Elba looking for another big playoff run. And then finally in AISA, Abbeville Christian will travel. They're 2-7 on the year, but in the playoffs, they will travel to take on 10-0 South Choctaw Academy. And that is your playoff schedule for the first round. Let's hope a lot of these teams, all these teams, get wins this Friday and continue on their journey to get a state championship. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Wiregrass High School Football Report. Again, appreciate you making this a part of your day. You can also check out my other podcast, the Phillip Jordan podcast. We're diving into some more college football and all other good sports stuff later on in the week. And, of course, the first playoff rankings come out this week, so we'll be diving in to that on that show as well. And also remember, the Jed Kennedy Coaches Show, the last one of the year, recapping the entire season and looking forward to next year with Coach Kennedy, 8 o'clock on 96.9 The Legend. And, of course, if you miss it, it'll be available on podcast over at Wiregrass Daily News on Friday morning. Anyways, once again, appreciate you guys checking out the show. And until next time, bye-bye.